What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com with Stephen Adelaide, the CEO of ISatori. Welcome back.
Welcome.
It's like we never left. So, here's stacking. How do you stack this thing? Can Bio-Gro be taken or tooken with creatine?
Absolutely. Creatine and BioGro work on two totally different mechanisms in the body. As you know, creatine is working on the ATP regeneration, creating phosphocreatine, and BioGro is working on the call for and the acceleration of protein synthesis. So you have two different mechanisms of action. They certainly can be used together. I'm a big advocate of creatine. I do notice that the feeling and muscular fullness from creatine is quite different than what you may experience with BioGro. So while they are different, they certainly can complement one another and be used together.
All right, now BCAA versus BioGro. Difference between them as they both help with protein synthesis.
Oh, this is the battle here.
It is the battle. This is like the categorical battle here. I mean,
but it's a good marriage.
I think, I say why choose. I think branch chains, I've never advocated, and I'm going to get into branch chains real quick. I've never really advocated, Lane Norton does, and I can see his point on the protein stat theory that he did out of University of Illinois, where he shows protein synthesis between meals. The study that I was a part of, basically the only time I see you taking branch chains is during training. I say leave them in there. They're still going to do their job, and there's still data on them increasing your results that much further. Adding BioGro to your intra-workout shake just makes it even better, and that's one of your 2 doses of BioGro anyway. So I don't think they do compare. I think they complement.
Absolutely. And when you think about the way BioGro and bioactive peptides work, anything that stimulates or positively affects protein synthesis, BioGro is going to make it work better. So it makes sense that combining it with amino acids, especially while you're working out, is going to make them both work better. You're going to have those aminos in the body floating around in the blood, wanting to be utilized while you're training to undergo protein synthesis. The BioGro is going to accelerate the call for the acceleration of protein synthesis. I mean, the two make a perfect combination.
It's, in fact, before I even had my amino acid product, we were stacking it with Restorade at his headquarters a couple months ago. So, I mean, it's just, and he's found out through more trial and error, or through more studies and what they're doing now, that intra-workout, pre-workout, those are the times to take BioGro.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I'm not gonna stray from my intra-workout branch chains. And again, why choose? If you can have Ginger and Marianne, why would you choose? For you young kids, that was Gilligan's Island. They're like, what the hell is he even talking about? What are those old guys talking about, man? Okay, so I've heard the dosage is based on weight. Would the dosage be the same for a 215-pound ripped guy versus someone with a higher body fat percentage, around 15% or so?
I don't think it really matters whether you're ripped or overweight. I think it's really where your body weight sets, or typically the way I've always viewed things is I would use a supplement or adjust my macros not to where I was at, but where I wanted to be. So if I was a 190-pound guy and I wanted to be a 210-pound guy, I would use what a 210-pound guy would use, because that's where I wanted to be. Now that may differ from some of your philosophies and from others, but I think the way we have it now works quite well in that if you're under 200 pounds, it's 1 to 2 scoops a day. If you're over 200 pounds, it's 2 to 3 scoops a day. And that has to be taken twice a day. So you're talking from 2 to 4 scoops if you're less than 200 pounds, or if you're over 200 pounds, you're talking about 3 to 4 scoops a day.
Okay, well that's essentially, you know, that's what we do. I mean, it works out well. I mean, that whole dosing scheme and everything. And also, I mean, we're talking about stacking and the upper limit. And one thing is you have to look at what you can afford. That's a very affordable stack. You're looking at 1 to 2 scoops and then 2 to 4 scoops. That'll last you a good amount of time.
Yeah.
So just going into that. So here's another, basically, here's the thing. I want to just add this one in because we've pretty much covered all these questions. Is there anything you cannot stack with BioGro?
It's a good question. I don't know. Nothing comes to mind that would cause any contraindication or any negative effects, one negating the other. Nothing's going to blunt its absorption or its digestion. So honestly, I can't think of anything that you wouldn't be able to stack it with.
Neither can I. That's like, can I stack protein with something? It's something that it does its thing. Well, moving on. Next segment. Boom!